Now we start this hour in Europe, where Russia has rejected any discussion of foreign military deployment in Ukraine, calling the idea unacceptable and a threat to security. Russian Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Maria Zakharova said Moscow will not enter talks on an international post-conflict force in any format. Her comments come as European leaders work on plans for a multinational force to provide security guarantees to Ukraine in the event of a peace accord. Meanwhile, Ukrainian President Zelenskyy is scheduled to meet with European leaders in Paris to finalise details, with French President Emmanuel Macron saying the plans remain highly confidential. Moreover, US President Donald Trump is expected to speak with both leaders in the coming days. Russia continues to demand that any deal include territory it annexed since 2022, while Kiev refuses to ceding any land. We're now joined by Glenn Grant. He is an ex-advisor to the Ukrainian Defense Minister, and he joins us live from the Ukrainian capital. Glenn, more of the same. We have Russia's stance saying they are serious about peace talks. However, they have called foreign troop deployments in Ukraine unacceptable. From Kiev, how do you interpret Moscow's warning, Glenn?
Well, I think, as you said, more of the same. It's quite clear that after, or with Putin's trip to China and meeting the other leaders, that he obviously feels completely empowered now and supported to be able to keep this war going. And he's obviously going to do so. I hate to say this, but I think that the European leaders, and maybe even Zelenskyy, they're doing what they're doing to basically to kowtow to Trump, to try and show Trump that they're doing something for peace. But it's flipping nonsense. It really is nonsense. Instead of spending their time worrying about something that isn't happening, they should spend their time about worrying about what is happening, which is massive attacks, massive drone attacks and missile attacks nightly, and a front line that is gradually creeping forward. And they seem to be ignoring both of those in any way other than just handing over money and a bit more equipment. This is not a good move. I'm sorry.
Glenn, Germany has actually called talks of troop deployments premature. Does this expose real divisions in Europe on how far it will go in supporting Ukraine?
Oh, I think it does, and I think the comment that Europe is as one is complete nonsense, because now we've got now you've got sort of leaders in Slovakia, Hungary, looking in Bulgaria, looking in one direction, and then you've got the weak-willed Europeans looking in another, Germany looking a different way altogether, and then the what you can call the frontline states. They know full well what the score is. They know exactly what Russia is up to, but then none of them are strong enough, either militarily or diplomatically, to be able to kick the weak ones into shape. And the weak ones: Great Britain, Spain, Italy, France, who all talk a lot, but the actual the doing that is important is missing.
Glenn, you're joining us from the Ukrainian capital. Since Donald Trump has assumed the presidency of the United States back in January, there has been an absolute roller coaster when it has come to diplomacy here. However, Russian attacks on Ukrainian territory continue to be a barrage. What is the feeling when it comes to the president and also the Europeans in negotiations? Is there hope there in the Ukrainian capital?
The hope in the Ukrainian capital, there is, but it's all about, we've got to do this on our own. Yes, they know that they'll get support from the Europeans. They say all support except help, and the same sort of thing from hopefully something from US. But there is disgust about the US actions. I mean, Trump's actions of just trying to make money out of people dying in Ukraine. It is seen as being totally and utterly disgusting. But, you know, beggars can't be choosers in this respect. The Ukrainians are stubborn. They're going to win. And they're going to keep attacking Russia in depth and keep attacking the energy supplies until something cracks in Russia. But it's going to take a lot of time, and a lot of people are going to die first because of Trump and European weakness.
Yes, and how are the people of Ukraine feeling now about how the war is going? Obviously, Russia are gaining territory, however, very, very slowly. They currently hold around 20% of the Ukrainian territory. Territorial concessions, obviously, Glenn, is central to these peace discussions. And so far, we have not seen much budging when it comes to that on either side. What are the thoughts on how the war is going on the ground?
It's interesting because, I mean, there's great stubbornness. There's no question about that, great stubbornness. And actually, the more people that Russia kills, the more stubbornness comes to the front. They're not going backwards and getting weaker and thinking we're going to lose this or we have to give up territory. In fact, it's becoming the other way around. They're becoming more and more determined to keep going. But there is a great unhappiness about the Zelenskyy government and its activities inside the country, not outside. Diplomatically, doing a great job, but inside the country, the management is weak, and it's become almost a standing joke now. That they simply they're known as the idiocracy because they just can't get anything right, and most things are being done for public relations and election benefit, you might say. So it's a complex time in Ukraine, and there is, you know, this combination of despair, anger, and stubbornness all at the same time. But I can tell you the city, Kiev and Kharkiv and Lviv, where I've just been, are all going about business as normal. And you would not know about the nightly attacks if you just walked around the cities in daytime.
Glenn, we are currently seeing this meeting of the coalition of the willing. They're arriving in Paris. President Volodymyr Zelenskyy will be there, along with Macron, along with Ursula von der Leyen, just to name a few of these 20 leaders that are about to show up in Paris as we anticipate for that. We also have some further breaking news coming